So, is this too patriotic for you? To begin this session, we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. So, everybody stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic, not the empire, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under Allah, with liberty and justice for all. So, January 21st, 1793, the National Convention of France executed King Louis XVI of France by guillotine. It pissed off all the other kings and queens. They're like, oh no, we're just as fallible. We're just as, if you prick us, do we not bleed? They realized they were human too. France was already at war with Habsburg Austria, the Kingdom of Prussia, and the Kingdom of Sardinia Piedmont. After winning the Battle of Jemappes, the French army occupied the Austrian Netherlands, emboldened the government, decreed annexation of the territory, modern Belgium, provoking a diplomatic break with Great Britain on February 1st. France declares war on Britain and the Dutch Republic. On March 7th, France declares war on her ancient ally, Spain. France is fucking everybody's world up, right? Fuck you, Britain. Fuck you, Dutch, Netherlands. Fuck you, Spain. Fuck you, Austria. Fuck you, Prussia. Fuck you, Sardinia, Piedmont. Anybody else want some? Come on. If this is Robespierre, I got your back, Robespierre. All this is totally okay in the name of the revolution that was actually revolutionary. Fuck Napoleon. Fuck Napoleon. God, Napoleon was a piece of shit. If you could admire Napoleon, you could admire Hitler. You could admire lots of genocidal imperialist pieces of shit that just goes around hurting people for no apparent fucking reason whatsoever. Why? Why Napoleon? Because you have the Hitler syndrome? Do you pee out the bottom of your dick straight backwards? I mean, maybe his height, maybe that's why that appealed to him. He felt a little insecure, so he really needed to show the world that, hey, I can be just as manly as all the rest of you all. There's many reasons why the revolution is good. Revolution just means revolve. But the term actually comes from Copernicus. He said on revolutions. And it was his, heliocentric. He basically thought that the sun was in the middle of the solar system and the earth revolved around the sun. Right? He had the radical notion, the revolutionary idea that the planets revolved around the sun and it wasn't all the planets in the sun revolving around earth, all the universe. Yeah, I know the church said that we were the center of the universe, and a lot of people think that they're the center of the universe. But apparently the planets and the galaxy, they don't. So before Copernicus, you had a world that thought the sun revolved around the earth, and then Copernicus was like, nah. And now you got a world that's like, oh, we revolve around the sun, and the church has been lying to us? What else have they been lying about? He changed the entire world. He changed everything. You cannot fuck with the scientific revolution. Revolution, if you use it in everyday vernacular, it just means that it improves your life at an extraordinarily efficient rate, and it's good. So smartphones are revolutionary. Automobiles, revolutionary. Internet, revolutionary. All these are good things that fundamentally change how you live your life, how you live your existence. And they're all for the better. So therefore, that's revolutionary. All those things are revolutionary. Revolutions are good. Generally speaking, they're good. They overthrow the established order, but that isn't always good. Who can forget April 4th, 1792? I'll never forget April 4th, 1792. I remember exactly where I was and what I was doing. This is the time when France granted free people of color full citizenship. Oh, wait. 1794, February 4th is what I was thinking. That's not as good as February 4th, 1794, right? 2494. This would be a momentous occasion. This would be what? The 35th day of the 1794 year. So wait, that would be what, year 4? And then with France, they changed the dates, they changed the entire calendar. You guys are sitting there listening to a Gregorian calendar right now. You're like, April, May, June. That's Gregorian. Why are you going with Pope Gregory the 13th? Pope Gregory the 13th divided the time in between 12 months and all these random days, and you're like, it's good enough. Fuck it. Who cares? Pope Gregory he was a benefactor of the St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre. 1572 is when this St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre happens. You have 30,000 people that are murdered. The French Huguenots are murdered, they're massacred because they're not Catholic. They're Protestant, right? They're like French Calvinist Protestants. They listen to John Calvin. They're trying to, interpret the Bible for themselves. They're Christians. They believe Jesus is the prophet or the main, he's the main man, right? It's Jesus, Holy Ghost, and God. So they're all on board with that, but they're not on board with, I don't know. I'm not for sure why they hate each other so much, but Protestants and Catholics hate each other, and they're killing each other, and they killed a whole bunch of them on St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre. This is Catholics killing Protestants, and this, throughout Europe, it basically said to Protestants that Catholics are going to kill in order to get their way. They will murder and massacre everybody that they've got to in order to make sure the whole world is just a bunch of Catholics. This is Pope Gregory the 13th. He's going to become a Jesuit. This is when the Jesuits first began, and he's going to, it was already established, I think, but he's going to get in it and make that vehicle go even more. So the Jesuits are pretty radical Catholics, and eventually during the massacres, Admiral Gaspard de Coligny, so Gaspard de Coligny is the leader of the French Huguenots. He's killed, and his head's chopped off, and his head is given to Pope Gregory the 13th as a present. And there's a coin that actually commemorates Pope Gregory the 13th for this Bartholomew's Day Massacre. Commemorating. They're proud of this. They're like, look, we're going to mint a coin. Our currency is going to commemorate this great day when all these Huguenots were massacred and killed. Well, a lot of people were horrified about the massacre. They also thought that the Huguenots were going to overtake them in a coup d'etat, or at least that was the bullshit propaganda the Catholic Church was putting out there. The severed head, Coligny, was sent to Pope Gregory the 13th, but it got no farther than Lyon, so he actually never got it. But he did sing, Pope Gregory the 13th sent the king a golden rose, and he ordered a Te Deum, which is some sort of Latin phrase meaning some song to be sang as a special thanksgiving. The practice continued for many years afterwards, and a medal was struck with the motto Huguenottorum Strateges, 1572, Latin for overthrow or slaughter of the Huguenots, showing an angel bearing a cross and sword before which are the felled Protestants. Pope Gregory the 13th also commissioned the artist Giorgio Vasari to paint 3 frescoes in the Sala Regia depicting the wounding of Coligny, his death, and Charles IX before Parliament, matching those commemorating the defeat of the Turks at the Battle of Lepanto, 1571. The massacre was interpreted as an act of divine retribution. Coligny was considered a threat to Christendom, and thus Pope Gregory the 13th designated September 11th, 1572, as a joint commemoration of the Battle of Lepanto and the massacre of the Huguenots. So, happy September 11th, 1572, everybody. Happy September 11th, the massacre of those damned Huguenots who almost took over the government, almost coup d'etat us, but thank God the Catholic people went around and massacred 30,000 Huguenots, wiped them out, got Coligny, killed him, chopped his head off, tried to send it to the Pope. The Pope, even though he didn't get the head, was very, very happy with the outcome. He's celebrating it. He's making songs. He's sending out roses. The man that our calendar is based on. There was a Julian calendar, and that's Julius Caesar. So this was, the Julian calendar lasted for, 1,500 years. And then Pope Gregory comes up, and then he just slightly changes it. There's only like a 2%, like a 0.0002% difference between the two calendars. But it was all based upon Easter. The Julian calendar was like getting longer and longer, and so it was messing everything up. And so Pope Gregory just kind of rearranged this and that, so that way Easter would fall on the time period, and then it wouldn't, you were losing time or gaining time. Some of the workers actually thought they were going to lose a week and a half weeks worth of pay because of the new calendar. But eventually, now the whole world uses the Gregorian calendar, right? That's almost the standard civil calendar for the entire world. So there's a lot of things that the French Revolution accomplished. It ended the idea of royal monarchies ruling over everything. It smashed the shit out of that idea. Hereditary succession, no more. We're going to have democracy, some kind of representative government, some kind of republic. And then on top of that, it ended slavery. Slavery was abolished by revolutionary France. And they felt like their event, which is true, inspired the world. And because it inspired the world, they had a line of demarcation between the past, pre-modern age, the time of antiquity, the ancient regime. That was before 1789. That was the ancient regime. Now we got brand new France. And brand new France, since the beginning, I'm not for sure what day they actually put this on, but year 0 is the year of the French Revolution. So they changed the calendar. They changed the way that we, counted time. And so that was pretty remarkable. They had their own months and days. And even to St. Louverture was writing in that language, in that French time frame. So there's, Fructidor and Thermidorian and all these other, month names. And so the French revolutionaries wanted to completely, kind of change everything. That was a good indication that they were going to change everything. So you might think that today is April 27th, but that would be, it's actually tomorrow. Right now it's April 26, 2017. But I'm anticipating you'll see this tomorrow, or I hope you see it tomorrow. And so today would be April 27th in the Gregorian calendar, but in the Julian calendar it's April 14th. Now, I don't believe the French Revolution deserves the year 0. I think the Haitian Revolution deserves the year 0. And I don't even really think we need month designations either. Why? We got 365 days, right? So sometimes 366 days. So we could just say the year and say the day. And that's good enough, right? Why do we have to have 3 different numbers? Why 3 different categories? I don't think it's hard to understand. So today, when I type this, right, April 26, 2017, if 1804, the Haitian Revolution, when the Haitian Revolution ended, if that's year 0, then this year, this day, April 27th, it'd be year 213. If you use the Haitian Revolution, 1804, January 1st, 1804, as the very first day of year 0, then right now, 2017, that's 213 years from now. So we would be at year 213. So, okay, happy 213th year, everybody. Next year, it's going to be 214, 215, right, so on and so forth. Day 167. So, hey, today's the 167th day of the year 213. That's easy. That would be simple. That would be very easy to do. My birthday earlier this year was day 39. This year, year 213. Right? When's your birthday? Day 39. Don't even have to say anything else, right? My birthday will always land on day 39. Every year. Even right now. Even with the goddamn fucking Pope Gregory's calendar. Pope Gregory was sending out bands of assassins and just killing Protestants willy-nilly. And, what influence did he have, actually, with that entire thing? He took a lot of credit for it. He was staging a bunch of theater productions and paintings and having a big song celebration, declared it a holiday, right? Got the whole thing captured and minted on a coin. Happy assassination of lots of Protestant Day. That's Pope Gregory the 13th. That's why we say April and May and all this other bullshit. Because of that fucker. Because of that pro-assassination motherfucker. Because of that pro-assassination of Protestants motherfucker. I think changing things in general makes sense anyways. In 2000s, right? We have to say 2017, 2020, 2055, 2342. That's stupid. That's too much in my mouth, okay? It's so much easier if Haitian Revolution, January 1st, 1804, that's year 0, day 0, then that would be easy as fuck. But let's just make it easy, okay? 2000 is now year 0. So if 2000 is the year 0, we do last digits anyways, right? 2017, when we did that with the 90s, it was 91, 92, 93. We didn't say 1992. I mean, 1992, we would, talk like a redneck. It's 1996. That's the year. 1996. Even the 60s, right? 63, all back in 63. So I think we should do that with the 2000s. Today, this is the year 17. Year 17, and my birthday is on day 39. Day 39, year 17. That's my birthday earlier this year. So I think it would be easier. And before 2000 would be BC. So I would actually be born 18 BC. This year's year 17. Next year will be year 18. I was born 18 BC. So just doing the last 2 digits, we were doing that anyways. It's easier, more succinct, and it's not biased towards one particular religion. Louis C.K. actually said a bunch of stuff about this, where he says that all of time falls upon when Jesus, supposedly existed. Theoretically, there is more evidence for Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh. He's the first hero. He's the hero of heroes. He built a wall. There's the wall of Uruk, and Uruk could be Iraq, so he could have built the first wall in Iraq. So that's Gilgamesh. There's also the flood. Noah's flood was in Gilgamesh's stories. And I think some other ones too, Garden of Eden or something else. So there's just as much evidence that Gilgamesh existed. He existed way before Jesus, was of more consequence. I guess, the character of Jesus has got the spiritual imagination of the world. Well, what the fuck did he do? Get his ass kicked and died? He died for his cause, but so did Mackendal. Mackendal died for his cause. So did Jean-Baptiste Cervantes in the Haitian Revolution. So did Vincent Auger. So did Duddy Bookman. So did Janot Bullitt. So did Joseph Flaville. These are a lot of people that died. So let's put Joseph Flaville up as a new Jesus Christ. That just happened 200 years ago, and we know for a fact that he actually existed. There was a real man named Joseph Flaville. We don't know if there's a person named Jesus Christ. We don't know that. So today is day 166, year 17. Or tomorrow, if you see this April 27th, it's day 167, year 17. It's easier. It's better. I like it. So if I ever become emperor, I'm just going to mark January 1st, 2000 as year 0 and just do the days by the number of days, and then that's it, make it simpler. Why do we we're still doing inches, right, and feet, 12 inches in a feet, and then there's what, a mile, 5,280 feet in a mile? Yeah, because that's a nice round fucking number. Why won't we do metrics? They're all divisible by 10. The rest of the world does it. It would be easier to trade and to talk with others. We would be trained in the metric system. And like I said, it's divisible by 10, right? We got 10 fingers. And so that's why we all count to 100. It's not binary. We don't count binary. We count decimal, decimeter, decenary. The difference in the average length of the year between Julian and Gregorian is 0.002%. Julian, there's 365.25 days, and Gregorian, there's 365.2425 days. So it changed 0.002%, But everybody's going to go along with this Pope Gregory. Oh, he's the fucking Pope, right? I mean, he could do no wrong. Okay, maybe that massacre of the Huguenots, maybe the massacre of the Protestants, maybe that was a little fucked up, but how involved was he? Yeah, sure, he wished it, he willed it, but he didn't actually do it. He just celebrated it and thought it was awesome. And Pope Gregory the 13th, the entire world trust. So the Pope, he's infallible, right? The Pope Gregory, his pre-popetry name was Ugo Bon Compagni. Bon Compagni. Ugo Bon Compagni. So you're going by the calendar of Ugo Bon Compagni. Pope Gregory the 13th was the Pope of the Catholic Church from May 13th, 1572 until his death in 1585. So he only had 13 years to, rewrite the calendar, start a war with the Protestants. Pope Gregory the 13th, oh lucky 13, he had an illegitimate son after he had an affair with Mendelina Fulcini, Giacomo Bon Compagni. So there it is, right? Giacomo Bon Compagni is the son of Pope Gregory the 13th. So I actually kind of like that, but they said that he's an illegitimate son because it was done out of wedlock, so therefore his birth isn't legal. I see that you came out of the vagina, baby, and you're crying, and you very much look alive, but you did it illegally, so we got to deport you. Get back up there. Nope, you're not allowed here. You're illegal. But Pope Gregory the 13th actually took his holy orders afterwards, so he had a son out of wedlock, so Giacomo Bon Compagni. I don't know if he has a father or doesn't have a father. Who knows? Who cares, right? A little bit about the background of the massacre of the French Huguenots that began on the night of 23 to 24 August 1572, the eve of the feast of Bartholomew the Apostle, 2 days after the attempted assassination of Admiral Gaspard de Coligny, the military and political leader of the Huguenots. King Charles IX ordered the killing of a group of Huguenot leaders, including Gaspard de Coligny, Seigneur de Chatillon, and the slaughter spread throughout Paris. Gaspard de Coligny and John Calvin actually were pen pals. John Calvin wrote Gaspard de Coligny on September 4th, 1558. Lasting several weeks, the massacre expanded outward to other urban centers in the countryside. Modern estimates for the number of dead across France vary widely, from 5,000 to 30,000. The Huguenot political movement was crippled by the loss of its many prominent aristocratic leaders, and throughout Europe it was printed on Protestant minds the indelible conviction that Catholicism was a bloody and treacherous religion. So, it makes sense to change our time. We're the internet generation. We can do whatever the fuck we want to do. Whether one admits it or not, we're postmodern. The internet generation is postmodern. We all have the Gutenberg printing press. We have the Gutenberg printing press multiplied by 1 million, right? Anybody could print up anything that they want to. We're in a whole new era right now. Our calendar should reflect it. I would like to see it. I don't think it will change, but I think it would be great. It'd be easier, more succinct, and, let's try to make it easier. If we're the world's leader, let's standardize shit and make shit easier. I mean, metric is better. It uses 10, increments of 10. The world uses it already, right? It's just that we're not into standardizing with the world. We want the world to standardize to us. But let's make sure our shit is right, okay? We're going to make everybody, it's not football, it's soccer. Why? Why do we got to do that? Why do we have to change it like that?